Steven Universe episodes have arrived on Cartoon Network. And so to celebrate the show's new episodes, we're doing a special behind-the-scenes look on the Steven Universe podcast. So today we're spotlighting Maid of Honor and Reunited. And so I've got storyboard artist Lamar Abrams, storyboard supervisor Hillary Florido, and Michaela Dietz, who voices Amethyst, back on the podcast to tell us more about these episodes. So thank you guys so much for coming back and talking to me.
Thank you.
We're back.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So let's start out with Maid of Honor. You know, this is a big episode for Bismuth coming back and everything. So
she's back.
Was, yeah.
She's back in Bismuth.
The puns were too much. I feel like the puns in this show have been, like, especially in these 5 episodes in particular, have just gotten so, like, just on point.
Oh,
you know?
Thanks. I feel like with Bismuth too, it's like we love back in Bismuth and like playing with that, and like, I don't know, I feel like maybe we do it too much with her, but because that's
No,
It's never too much.
No, it's not.
I want to cringe all the time. No, real talk. I really like puns, and like the worse they are, the better they are.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
I like the Bismuth me much.
Yeah.
That was a fun new twist on it, Lamar.
Yeah, it's fun to also see them like in their world talking about like, will this work? Like you come out and you say, and like
Nailed it.
They're in a pitch room. That's great. Because you boarded this one, right?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome.
Nice work.
Thank you. I didn't board it by myself. I boarded it with
Right, yeah, but you and Christine, right?
yeah.
So this episode also is big because it's like the State of the Gems conflict. Like Steven's state of mind, you know, is big in this, and it's he like talks to Bismuth, and it shows a lot about both of them. Did you board like that scene in particular?
Yeah, him getting into like that room where all the gems are bubbled and getting Bismuth out, and their whole conversation. It was actually like, there's a lot of just talk about what Steven should say to her, because we just felt like it was really important to like let people know that he was sorry and feeling regret for what they did to her. And even like that end scene, there was a lot of like notes and back and forth about like Bismuth's feelings on him being like this kind of leader figure, like her place in the group. Like it felt like a real like, you know, oh man, this friend we haven't seen in a while, like we had a falling out and we want to reconcile, but like how do we do that? Like, do we apologize? How should we apologize? Like, what are we sorry for? Like, what
Are we sorry?
Like,
Right.
You know, like there was so much, and I feel like, I don't know, it's like a very like real thing that people deal with. So having to put it into a way that let you feel like, you know, Bismuth is okay, Steven is okay, like their friends are going to be okay. Like it took a lot of work.
And also, like, logistically, how much are you recapping on screen for a story, like the story that the viewer knows? And in the absence of that, what responses do you lead in that give you the information that you just heard this story?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some people are watching this for the first time and being like, who's Bismuth?
Don't you know?
None of your business.
Again, the puns.
The only pun.
I didn't realize how much I missed Bismuth until this episode, because like, just like everything was pitch perfect. I love when she found out about Pink and then boiled her head in lava.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. And then she just turns around and just gurgles lava. And I'm like, I feel like that was my reaction.
That was
about Pink.
That was my reaction drawing it. Like I was like, she has to react in like a huge way, and I'm glad that pool of lava was there.
Yeah.
Because we did that like before she was in the forge. The first time she shows him, like she kind of takes like a lava shower. So that's like she loves lava.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like she's an emotional character and also like super like chill and down to earth. Like, you know, she was like really mad before and with good reason, and she had some different views, but like you can still like just talk to her, you know.
Yeah.
Like that was the feeling I wanted to get. Like I didn't want it to feel like she was hiding any of her emotions. Like seeing her like dunk her head and like scream was like very satisfying. Like, yeah, like that's a lot to take in,
Yeah.
There is, yeah. And it also ties a lot together with like her understanding why Rose, would have reacted in that way. That didn't make sense at the time and everything. And I also wanted to ask about like the implications of like, Bismuth's place on the team and Steven's like leadership, which you talked about when they talked for the second time. What do you guys think about like Bismuth framing Steven as like the team leader?
Do you think he accepts it?
I think like he heard her out, but that's like in the back of his mind. Like he isn't really like, yeah, you're right, I'm the leader of the Crystal Gem.
Oh, wait, what? I thought I heard that line in there somewhere. What? Yeah.
My name is the show's name. Duh.
Right, Bismuth, I'm in charge. Get upstairs.
Is Zach in the room?
Yeah, this is uncanny.
Wait, what was the question?
I was just wondering about like the like just like the implications of what Bismuth thought about Steven being the leader of the team and like why she saw him that way. And what do you think his thoughts on that are?
I think for Bismuth, it was just like, that's what's cool about Bismuth, her honesty. Like, she'll tell you exactly how she's feeling. And again, like whether or not Steven like agreed, like he knows that's how Bismuth feels. Like there's not going to be any guessing like later on. Like, and I don't know, I think it was important to say because it's not anything we've ever really said before. Like no one's ever been like, Steven, we're only the Crystal Gems because you're here. Like we see that and we see them like support each other in this way where they're like a family, but we've never had anyone just like straight up say like, hey, you're the glue for this like operation.
I certainly feel, who cares what they're feeling? Let's talk about my feelings. I feel it's really exciting because everyone's growing and changing. You're seeing different aspects of Garnet because Garnet's kind of like the default leader.
Yeah.
She's great. And I think it's exciting to incorporate, because I wouldn't say that she's like not the leader, but Steven has stepped up. Like they're more equal.
Yeah,
Agree, disagree?
It's a weird, like, I think just the idea that Steven's the glue that's keeping them together is something, and Garnet being the leader, yeah, like of course, because like she's Garnet and Steven can't be like, all right, Gems mobilize, like do this and that or whatever. Like that's not his role. But it also, I don't know, it kind of speaks to just a message about the show. Like I don't feel like anyone feels like
no one's taking orders.
Yeah, Garnet's the boss. Right. She's just telling us what to do. I hate this job. No one's coming to the table in that way. And, they're all like, everybody kind of ran off to deal with their emotions right now. Like, no one's told like, hey, don't go deal with your emotions. Like, stay here and like, let's fight.
Perhaps it's recognizing the power of individual roles to the group. Because, Steven is, like, Garnet does take charge a lot, but Steven does, like, bind them.
Yeah.
And
he's a binding agent.
It's a beautiful thing.
Garnet's like the commander when they enter the battle,
It's interesting that, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, well, once Rose left, why didn't Pearl step up more?
Pearl was probably a mess. She was
like, I think she just couldn't.
I think she just couldn't for a while.
Got it. Okay.
And I think early on too, it seemed like Pearl was holding on to the idea that maybe Rose wasn't gone. So like, what's the episode 3? Gems and a Baby.
Did you do that one?
Yeah, but they're in the back seat and it's at Snowstorm, and Pearl is ready to pull out Steven's gem, and I feel like out of the 3 of them, like Garnet was the most like, I accept what is going on, and they kind of needed that to like hold them together, because otherwise, like, I don't know, something bad could happen to that baby.
Yeah.
And now Steven's like coming into his own. How do you think having Bismuth on the team will affect their like dynamic?
It'll be fine. I feel like they're like used to having her around.
They welcomed her so warm. I mean, it was so warm when they...
Yeah.
It's like when you don't see a friend for a few years and you just kind of fall back into like how you talk and like go out and do stuff. That's what it feels like.
I love that familiar. I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like Bismuth is I want Bismuth as a friend.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
Yeah.
get into like just the right amount of trouble together. And like good jokes.
Checking on you.
Yeah.
Do some like casual metalworking.
Yeah. Just like, hey, you want to
Be like, yo, you want to go smelt some stuff? Weld some, what is it? Smelting? Welding?
all of those things.
Oh, okay, thanks.
All the above, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say like hit the metal, but like that's not a saying.
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the
I
metal?
don't think so.
What is the thing when you work out? Iron?
Oh, pumping some iron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is?
Lamar Sports Abrams.
Pedal to the iron.
Yeah.
That's me.
Let's go jogging later.
Okay, on that note, let's move on to Reunited next. Let's just keep that discussion going. Coming right up. All right, Michaela and Hillary and Lamar are still here with us, and they're ready to talk about Reunited. So let's jump into it. This is like the big like climax to the whole wedding arc, and I just love this two-parter. It's great. It's great. The wedding outfits are the first thing I just want to gush about because, oh my gosh.
Outfits, yeah.
It's so fun. I loved seeing Ruby's dress and Sapphire's tux. They're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Peridot's dress.
Yes.
That was unexpected.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suits, everyone in suits. Let's get them in them.
Yeah.
Love a good suit.
Oh yeah, that's Pearl's Empire City suit.
Yeah, it was
It fits her like a glove.
yeah, it's bespoke.
Yeah. There's no need to get another one. She's too pragmatic,
You hold on to that.
Also, like bismuth in armor
Yeah.
and not a suit is great. That's like Jaden Smith showing up to
Yeah.
whose wedding was that?
Right.
He showed up in like a white Batman thing, and it's like I don't remember who was getting married. I remember that
amazing.
Batman outfit though.
Yeah.
Imagine being one of the humans at this wedding and just being like, I don't know what's going on, but I support you. Like,
Yeah.
And why is she wearing armor?
She must be important.
Well, a lot of like military guys, they'll wear their like military uniforms.
It
I
was
remember
for the
Steven
pun,
says
you
you're looking
guys.
sharp. You're looking sharp. Yes.
That was me.
Wait, which pun?
You're
Looking sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Was that you?
Yep. I just remember saying it in the room. Being like, I got it.
Let's just design this entire outfit just for this. Just for this.
It was that.
I love it. Right. And again, the decision of Ruby and Sapphire deciding to be together and wanting to be themselves with each other. What'd you guys think?
Oh, we love it.
Adorable.
Yes.
Next question.
I guess other info is that it took a lot to get this episode made.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, hey, we pitched this, and I don't know. I think there was a lot of like.
This is not your everyday episode. It's a special episode. It's a two-parter, and it's a special episode.
And it's a marriage.
And it's a marriage.
Of like, I mean, that specifically, that these two characters are getting married, I think is where some problems arise. Like, just not with the crew or anything, but just like it took some work to get this made.
Yeah, totally.
And once we found out that it was getting made without like edits or anything like that, we were all very like happy because I don't know, it felt like a lot of the show was building up to this being able to show this at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, it came out beautifully, and I'm so glad we got to make it.
Yeah, and what Garnet like represents as a character, so it's so important to so many people.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And the kiss, oh my gosh. So sweet. It was crazy, just like I didn't realize how much I missed Garnet too. Like throughout this whole arc, and then Garnet was back, and I was just like, suddenly everything is right with the world. Like, like I love Ruby and Sapphire, but like Garnet being gone just like left a void in my heart.
Is Garnet your favorite couple too?
Yeah, I feel like it's everybody. It was like,
That callback is so funny in the last app.
Oh, my favorite couple.
Yeah, it's so funny.
when Bismuth just like breaks out in tears in this episode, seeing the marriage, and it's just like, I love everything about it. And then of course you got the action, right, with Blue Diamond and Yellow Diamond and everything. It was nuts.
Oh, that happens in
The cluster coming in and everything.
Yeah, the second part.
The arm wrestling.
Yeah. Whose idea was that?
That is such a cool visual.
Jeff did the arm wrestling, or Mickey?
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Rebecca's idea, but
They were supposed to fight somehow, and it turned into like, they're just gonna arm wrestle. But I don't remember. I can't recall like
who incepted the idea.
Yeah, but it worked out.
One other thing I really, really enjoyed was seeing Garnet standing up to Blue Diamond after we saw them in the answer, right? When Blue Diamond sort of gets them in trouble for fusing in the court and disrupting the court and everything, and Garnet just finally has a chance to go, give her what for or whatever. That was really satisfying to me. It was deserved.
Yeah. How many years was it? Like 10 million, 10,000?
Yeah. 10
or
million
however many since she last confronted or even saw like Blue Diamond. It was a really important moment for Garnet to like finally be able to confront her with like tears in her eyes and like stand up to her so that she could get a barn dropped on her head.
Yeah.
Which is very satisfying as well. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Lapis coming in clutch in this episode was so just like the timing,
Yeah.
Perfect. She's back with the barn.
Yeah.
I also wondered if this is a callback to when Steven was on the moon base and was talking to Lapis about coming back to Earth, and he was like, yeah, you can put the barn down on the beach, we can be neighbors. And she's like, okay. And then she just brings it down and plops it down on the beach, and just also, Blue Diamond happens to be standing there as well, but
It was less about neighborly love and more about weaponizing.
Saving your butt.
More about saving
it was a beautiful barn. A shame to see it go. But that was a smart move overall. And seeing, what was your reaction when Lapis was like, I felt worse, when she was the one person who was able to resist Blue's like tear power, her like emotion power.
that was amazing.
I laughed.
I want to use stronger words, but yeah, that was great.
It was great. Like,
Yeah.
Lapis would say that.
Maybe there's something to be said about like she's overcome so much. Like she's already felt so low for so long that this can't hurt her. She can. It's just one other thing to overcome.
Yeah.
Right. It was crazy thinking about how, it was just like how much turmoil she must have been in for this to just be another obstacle, though, just because it like totally incapacitated everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And seeing Connie come through too with the sword, that was really nice. Because the power only affects gems.
Yeah.
Right?
Only gems.
Gems and the half gems. So Connie's just like, what's wrong with you guys?
Connie's in the free and clear.
Yeah.
The clusters, the noise of the cluster is scary to me.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
It is
Has
spooky.
this haunting howl.
It's spirits. It's souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of gems.
Yeah.
You should
I
be
can't really
scared.
think of what it sounds like.
The cluster
Just like that. Boo.
the thumbs up that the cluster gives Steven was great.
Yeah.
They're so worried about the cluster emerging and destroying the Earth, but it turns out,
The cluster
Clusters,
loves the earth.
yeah, just another resident, which was nice.
Yeah.
And one of my other favorite moments, I want to hear what you guys think, is the when Steven goes into his like psychic state. What was it like deciding that you guys were going to do that?
Like a classic ghost situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Get out the pottery wheel.
I think, I don't know, it was really well handled because I think there was like, how are we going to show this internal, like, mental battle and still, you know, let the audience know that there's like a serious fight going on.
Yeah.
So the thing with like it's like their heads he jumps from.
Yeah, they're in kind of a nebulous space, and the characters like standing there, and then above each character is like a smaller version of them doing the thing that they're doing in real time.
And you get to hear their thoughts too.
What inspired that actual depiction? I'm curious. Because I was like struck by that when I saw it.
I mean, certainly something that would be clear, and to understand that like you're in an interior space, so it's not like you can have just the character like moving. You have to have
Other. Got it. Okay.
a couple layers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think Jeff did that scene.
Yeah.
I think this was the first episodes I started storyboard supervising on, because I remember having to pose some of those.
Questions. Yeah. Yeah, almost reminded me of like a video game, or I don't know.
I think was there like kind of like a void behind
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, similar to the mental space of like the cluster. It's like it's
Oh,
even
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a psychic space.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool, yeah, like how when you saw Lapis disappear and you realized what had happened to her, you were like, oh no!
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Poor Lapis and Peridot in this ep. That was sad.
It's okay, they come back.
Yeah. Everybody.
right, yeah.
Everybody's got to get poofed at least once.
Everybody, yeah, it's an obligatory. It's part of being a crystal gem. Seeing Peridot come up to the yellow diamond and declare she was a quad, and then immediately just get poofed was a little disheartening,
But
without
funny.
the protection of having without the protection of having the phone line.
Yeah, I guess it's like, since we know that they're kind of like safe still, it's like, and Amethyst had like her whole episode where she was getting poofed multiple times, so I feel like we took the edge off a little bit with that episode, because it's
Yeah,
Right,
way
yeah.
to desensitize people. Way to do it.
Violence.
let's show the poofing more.
They become numb. No, but like it still is hard to. I mean, it's just hard to see them because other people's reactions too is hard. But I really liked seeing Lapis's like reunion with Peridot too. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Shame that they had to immediately get poofed, but they'll have time to make up later or something.
Sometimes that's just how it goes down.
And then like it was also cool, I think, seeing how all the character growth, like when Steven like was jumping from head to head and like communicating spiritually with each of the gems. It was cool seeing like their internal thoughts, because it's not something we always get to see just because it's Steven's perspective. Like we saw Garnet's fear of keeping it together, and Steven's ability to reassure her, and then Bismuth's fear of losing everyone all over again, and then Amethyst, just like general freaking out about the situation. And then Pearl was the most striking to me, just because like she was like talking about, I want to do this for him, I want to do this for Rose, I want to do this for somebody else. And then Steven had to just sort of say, no, don't forget about yourself,
Yeah.
It just showed a lot how far they'd come. I feel like the whole falling out with finding out about Rose gave opportunity for a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean certainly like you can learn a lesson and still have to deal with it consistently.
Right. You still have to face that truth.
They're multidimensional characters. They have
Yeah.
strengths and weaknesses and faults, and yeah, they always say you always have to like keep trying.
Yeah. Which, thank you. I feel like to you guys and Rebecca and the whole Crewniverse, I mean, being able to voice these fully fleshed characters it makes it easy because they're so accessible, I think.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, you don't have a problem in real life, and you're just like, oh, that issue with my mom, it's solved now.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it. Glad I got that off my plate.
Yeah.
You still gotta face it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Makes sense. All right, thank you guys so much for coming back and talking to me about these new episodes.
Thank you, Mackenzie. This was great.
Thanks for having us again.
Listen to the Steven Universe podcast at Apple Podcasts, and remember to subscribe, rate, and review while you're there. And watch the new Steven Universe animated episodes now on the Cartoon Network app. I'm McKenzie Atwood, and I'll be with you again next week for the premiere of Volume 3 of the Steven Universe podcast. We've got a lot of great interviews and guests ready to go for Volume 3. I can't wait to share it all with you, so I'll see you guys next Thursday.